Hey guys, Mr. Mooney here once again. So as I said before in a few videos ago, I'm actually moving into a new apartment here in about 2 weeks. So I'm actually going to start packing up some stuff during this week into next week. So a whole lot of people have been suggesting that I do another album collection video or show off my collection again or something like that because uh, the last time I did one of these collection videos was before I went to Paris, and that was in May of 2012, so I've actually gotten a whole lot of albums ever since then, so I thought it might be a good idea if I kind of re-went over my CD collection, because obviously it's been, almost over 2 years ago now, so that I need to, do another one of these, because there's so many more albums that are added to the collection now, so many things that I've gotten into ever since then, so let's just go ahead and do this. Some of these are out of order because, like I've said, I've been trying to just get them in stacks for moving and stuff like that. But so this isn't going to be as in order as I would like it to be. But I'll do what I can. You've seen this in the background of my videos. This is my Gorillaz shrine. This is where I just keep all of my Gorillaz albums all together. There's a copy of International Superhit sitting there for some reason by Green Day. But like I said, it's all kind of out of order now, and I've got the sleeve for Like Clockwork, and then there's Plastic Beach, and then my Beatles Capitol album sleeves, and then my Ultimate box set for Uno, Dos, and Tre by Green Day sitting up there. And so really that's just all of Gorillaz albums sitting up there because they're just amazing. Cannot wait for the new Damon Albarn solo album this year. Definitely going to be reviewing that. I'm going to try to get more into the swing of videos after I get into the new apartment because I think it's going to be really cool. We're actually going to have a new change of scenery. I'm going to have to set up a brand new backdrop, and it's going to be a really exciting time. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. So let's just go ahead. Here's a copy of the Best of the Miles Davis Quintet. This is just another little jazz album that I like to listen to for relaxation purposes. I think that's the best place for it, is when you're just kind of chilling and hanging out. Green Day's Morning, but I already have them all in this box set, the studio albums from 1990, 2009. And along with my Ultimate box set, I also have just the standard CD box set with all 3 albums inside of it. I might start up here actually. Here's Bullet in a Bible by Green Day, one of their first live things, and I also have their other live album, Awesome as Fuck, which is really awesome. Here's a copy of Showbiz by Muse. An ex-friend gave that to me, sadly. Origin of Symmetry by Muse. This is an unpopular opinion. I'm actually more of a fan of the newer Muse than I am the older. I know everybody creams their pants over that frickin' Origin of Symmetry, but honestly I think Black Holes and Revelations is better than that album. Maybe not The Resistance, but I've warmed up a whole lot to this album since I saw them live. I love The Resistance now, and especially The Second Law. I absolutely love The Second Law. Underrated as fuck in my opinion. I don't see why people hate on it so much. I've actually collected a whole lot more Air albums as well. Here's Moon Safari, probably my favorite album from then. And surprisingly, this might be my second favorite, honestly. I just now picked this one up. This is Pocket Symphony from Air. I actually found this at Edward McKay. It's an old record store around here for like $4. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, this is Pocket Symphony by Air. Absolutely love this album. This was my second favorite album from Air, Love 2, but I think Pocket Symphony is better than this one now. But Love 2 is definitely great for fans who like the faster moving Air, I guess. Well, that sounds really weird to say. Air did a few more songs on here that are a little bit more upbeat, so that's definitely one I would check out. I also had their Le Voyage dans la Lune. This came out in 2011. One of the first reviews I ever did was on this album. Okay, here's Linkin Park, here's Meteora, classic fucking nu metal album, classic, 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 Minutes to Midnight as well, along with 1,000 Suns, which is probably my second favorite album from them. Well, that's not true. It's actually my third favorite right here, because my second favorite is actually Living Things. I love Living Things. This is an amazing album. People shit on it too much, in my opinion. Shiny Toy Guns, We Are Pilots. I did a whole video series on these guys, and here are their 2 other albums, Season of Poison and 3. Love all of their albums. Oh, here we go. Here's my Queens of the Stone Age. I have all of their albums here. I guess I should pull these out one by one. Shit. Self-titled. Awesome. Awesome. Rated R. Love Rated R. Rated R is actually, I warmed up a whole lot to that album after I saw them live last year. Love Rated R, along with Songs for the Deaf. Of course, it's a classic. My favorite album from them, Lullabies to Paralyze. That's an unpopular opinion. Era Vulgaris, love that one as well. Cannot argue with that one, especially like Clockwork. Love it, love it, love it. It'd be really hard for me to order my favorite albums. I also have their live DVD, CD, DVD collection, Over the Years and Through the Woods. It's really, really good concert. And I also have their single for the song, The Fun Machine Took a Shit and Died. Really cool, really rare song to have, so I'm kind of glad I have that. Oh, here we go. Jumping into the 80s. Michael Jackson's Thriller. One of the best albums recorded of all time. Along with Michael Jackson's Bad. Cannot argue about how good that album is either. Getting into my Zeppelin here. Led Zeppelin's first album. Led Zeppelin's second album. I also have a copy of Mothership for when I just want a taste of Zeppelin. I personally like Led Zeppelin's older stuff more than I do their newer stuff, but Houses of the Holy is another really great album. I actually need to get a physical copy of that. Here is Vampire Weekend's discography. I have all of them. Love all 3 of these albums. Cannot deny how great Vampire Weekend are. Absolutely love those guys. Here's Caravan Palace. Really, really cool 1920s music infused with like newer age synthesizers and just really, really awesome fucking dance music too, man. The music video for Dramaphone. You should look that up. I think you'd love that. Love that album. Studio Killers, their first album. Another great new animated band. Really good 80s synth pop. You know, fun album. Really fun album. Love it. Purity Ring Shrines. This is a really dark record. Really cool electronic, really echoey reverb. The female vocals on it, reverb, you know. Really dark, really cool. You should definitely check it out. It's awesome. Kari Pami Pamiu, the Nanda collection. Great fucking album, Japanese pop music. If you can get through the language barrier, you are going to have a shit ton of fun with this. It's like jumping into a bottle of champagne. It's so fucking poppy, but it's really, really cool. Really cool, really catchy, really fun. Even though you can't sing along because it's in Japanese, it's still a load of fun. Let's see, the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. If you're a music fan, this shit has to be in your collection. This is important. Okay, this is important fucking album right here. Same thing with having the Beatles, man. You gotta have that shit. Here are all the Beatles US albums with a copy of that was a best of Queens of the Stone Age I made a long time ago. But yeah, these are all the Beatles US albums. I showed these off in a recent video, actually. I have those sitting there. Along with all of the Beatles main albums, Please Please Me, With the Beatles, Hard Day's Night. I have all of the Beatles albums here, along with Past Masters, Yellow Submarine Songbook, the Blue Album, 1967 and 1970s, kind of best of the psychedelic era. Copy of One. My dad, actually, a few weeks ago, found a copy of their Red album on vinyl in my parents' basement, and he gave it to me. Absolutely loved that he found this thing, because it was one that I didn't have on CD, and now I have the Red album, 1962 to 1966 Greatest Hits album. Love it. It's really cool. Look at them. This is the young Beatles here. This is them when they're young. And then on the back, they're in the exact same poses almost 10 years later. Love how they did that. That's really cool. I might show off some of those vinyls as well, because I got a few more underneath there that I could show off. Metallica's Black Album. I feel like this is kind of a standard album to have too in any music collection. Metallica's Black Album. You know, people just have it for some reason. Jets Get Born. It's kind of cool. Glenn Miller Greatest Hits. When you really want to get back into the 1920s and 40s, especially the 40s, Glenn Miller, it's crazy that I found that as well. Let's see, what else we got in here? A few of these. A copy of Hello Goodbye's first album. I think I might have burned this thing back when I was in high school because I absolutely loved the song, "Oh, it is love from the first." Yeah, it's really cool. Can't believe I have that still. Okay, we were at the Beatles. Here's a little bit. Here's my Black Keys. This is a copy of Rubber Factory. Really good, you know, standard fucking dirty blues music. Really cool. Magic Potion, which is probably my favorite album from the Black Keys, honestly, right next to El Camino. Brothers and El Camino. This is just my handful of Black Keys, but honestly, I feel like after you've heard a few Black Keys albums, you're probably good, because they all kind of have the same sound to them. Coldplay's Viva La Vida. This comes with the Propker's March EP. Really good songs on that EP as well to go along with that. Milo X Lioto, even though I really did not like this album, I was so disappointed. And here we go once again. Here's Panic at the Disco's discography. Fever, Pretty Odd. These are all amazing, amazing albums. Perfect albums. Vices and Virtues. Too Rare to Live, Too Rare to Die. I have them all. Love them all. Love every song on all of those albums. They change their sound on every record, and it always turns out really cool. Here's my Owl City. Here's Ocean Eyes. This guy's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. Love his melodies, his happy lyrics. Owl City's All Things Bright and Beautiful. And The Midsummer Station. This especially guilty pleasure. Here's my little selection. Here's my Nirvana. This is kind of like a little, not really a greatest hits compilation. I guess it is, but just a good selection of Nirvana songs, along with, of course, the standard having Nevermind in your collection. Gotta have fucking Nevermind. There's Oasis, Stop the Clocks. This is kind of like a greatest hits compilation. It does good enough for me, honestly. I don't really care to get much more into Oasis, but I did get their newest album, Dig Out Your Soul, which I really fucking love. I thought that was great. Here's a greatest hits kind of thing of the Police compilation album, just 2 CDs of a bunch of great songs from the band. Absolutely love this little collection here. I also have a copy of Regata de Blanc from the Police, just because I wanted to have a main album from them. But this is perfect as well, I think. Definitely deserved a top spot on Rolling Stone's top 100 albums of all time. Bond, Shine. This is Bond's first album. Love that. Like I said, got this one at Edward McKay as well for $4. The tag is still on there. But my favorite album from Bond is definitely Classified. Just got a little bit darker, a little bit cooler. Love these chicks. They play really good music. Here's Mute Math's entire discography. Not a whole lot of people have heard of these guys, but it's kind of good math rock. Their first album. There's their second album, and then Odd Soul is their last one. I think they'll probably come out with something eventually. It's been about 3 years now. Here is my Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Fucking this album right here has the potential to be like a classic in the rap genre, just like we remember Tupac and Biggie nowadays. This is just phenomenal. Okay, this is an amazing album. I play this shit from time to time, like constantly. You wouldn't believe it, honestly. I also have a copy of Yeezus, which really grew on me. Love this album as well. I think Kanye West, he's an asshole of a person, but his production and the way he makes his music is so cool. I really dig the sounds that he can come up with. He changes up rap music, and I love that about him. Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. I would like to get a copy of Discovery from Daft Punk eventually. Flyleaf's first album, the only album I really got into them. I kind of grew out of them as soon as I got this, honestly, but this is really great. Really high school nostalgia for me. Kavinsky, Outrun. Really cool electronic 80s influence music. Really cool. Elbows, the Seldom Seen Kid. Really nice kind of floaty orchestral music. Really nice, really cool. Another standard, The Clash's London Calling. Gotta have that shit somewhere. Perfect album, really good. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Once again, it's a standard to have in your collection. There's a few more of those albums in here. Casey Elephant's Melophobia, definitely my favorite from them, apart from their first album. I didn't really like Thank You, Happy Birthday. I could not get into that album. Little Dragon's Ritual Union. They have a new album coming out this year, and I will definitely be reviewing it. Cannot fucking wait. I love the single that dropped from it, but Ritual Union's great. Definitely check those out. Oh, this goes with my Beatles stuff, but I also have Love from that Cirque du Soleil show that they do in Vegas. This is kind of the soundtrack for that show. I'm actually going to put that with my Beatles stuff there. Men at Work, Super Hits. I reviewed their album Business as Usual for my 80s Week collection. I would need to get a physical copy of that, because I really like that album, but this right here sufficed pretty good. 10 songs, and, you know, Men at Work. They're a really cool group, really unique vocalist. Really good. Glad I have that, honestly. Hot Chip in Our Heads. I've heard they have a new album coming out this year. Don't know if I'll review that one or not yet, because I loved this album when it came out, but it really quickly fell off my radar after 2012 ended. But really good for the time. Best of Blue Oyster Cult. Seasons Don't Fear the Reaper. Lennon Legend, kind of a greatest hits for John Lennon, which I'm glad to have. Broken Bells discography here. Little self-titled album. And After the Disco. Just recently picked that one up. Oh my god, DJ Shadow's Introducing. This album is fucking amazing. Good god, the production on this thing, and just, it's so cool. The drum beats, it's just so chill, really cool. Just quite an experience to listen to this album. Love it. DJ Shadow, Introducing. Listen to this. You are missing out. Standard in punk music. Never mind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols. And that's just another classic album that you need to listen to if you have not heard it. Switchfoot, Beautiful Letdown. This is about the only album that I could get into these guys by. I know I'm missing the cover, but my favorite album definitely from them. The Turtles, Happy Together. Just kind of what I would think would be their kind of standard if you wanted to get into them, because, you know, it's got the song everybody knows by them and a few more hits on there, so definitely have to check that one out. Foxborough Hot Tubs, the Green Day side project. Really cool 60s influence type rock and roll music. Really cool how they recorded this thing. Love that. It's a little hidden treasure, really. Let's see here. What's this? Mumford & Sons, Side O' More. I could not get into Babel or Babel or whatever the hell. This album is way better than that. Just my opinion. Gotta have this shit in your collection. Boston's debut album. It's just another classic rock standard album that you need to have. Same thing for this. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Fucking what an experience. This goes great with King Crimson's and the Court of the Crimson King. I see a whole lot of similarities between this album and that one. I need to switch it up a little bit here. I'm tired of holding that. Rival Sons. This album is fucking sick. They take a whole lot of influence from Led Zeppelin. You can definitely hear that in their music. But this album is great. You can definitely tell they love the type of music they're playing. Just a good standard rock album, you know. You don't hear a whole lot of those nowadays. Them Crooked Vultures, you know, the same thing. Just a Josh Homme, Dave Grohl, and the bassist from Led Zeppelin, actually. John Paul Jones played on this record, and it's incredible, man. Just a great rock record. Great standard rock, you know. Sleigh Bells, Bitter Rivals. This is great, along with their album Treats. I love both of these Sleigh Bells albums. Their second album, Reign of Terror, was absolutely fucking terrible. But Bitter Rivals is great. The Good, the Bad, and the Queen. Another side project from Damon Albarn from Blur and Gorillaz. Gotta listen to this shit if you haven't already. Really awesome. The bassist from The Clash is also on this record, so definitely check that out. Gautier, Making Mirrors. This contained one of the biggest songs of the past 2 years on here. Somebody I used to know. But the entire album is just great. There's so much more than just that one song. Avicii's True. This is a great fucking dance, electro dance record, and it's just awesome. The production on this album, the different genres of music that he uses to make his dance music, just definitely gotta check this shit out. It's great. Giles Corey, his debut. This is a really dark and depressing indie record. A whole lot of songs on this album are about suicide and ghosts and depression and killing yourself and really dark and sad fucking acoustic music and piano stuff and just really dark and depressing. You definitely need to check it out if you're a little bit emo, if you're feeling a little bit depressed. Deerhoof, Breakup Song. Really cool cover. Really weird and out there music. Not a whole lot of people are going to be into this, but I don't know. I think this album is actually quite fun, honestly, despite its weirdness. Really good. Little Hurricanes Homewrecker. I have their new album pre-ordered that's coming out this year. Cannot freaking wait for that, but Homewrecker is an amazing album front to back, just dirty blues. If you're a fan of the White Stripes or the Black Keys, you will love this group. Definitely check out that. Oh, here we go. We're getting into the weird stuff. Here's a Hardcore Will Never Die, But You Will, by the post-rock band Mogwai. This is actually my favorite album from the group. I've heard a few more of albums from them, but these two albums that I have from them definitely strike the biggest chord with me, because I have their newest one as well, Rave Tapes, which I really enjoy. Both really great records, post-rock instrumental music. Really epic music. I find it really good on like a rainy day driving. Something really epic about it, listening to it that way. Neutral Milk Hotels, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. This right here I also consider to be kind of a standard nowadays of having in your record collection. The internet kind of hypes up this album a whole lot, and I can see why. It's actually really good. Really good folky kind of weird music, but it's really good. I highly enjoy the lyrics on that album especially. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. Once again, another staple in the classic rock genre. You need to have fucking rumors. Gotta have rumors. It's great. OK Computer by Radiohead. I don't see what the hell everybody sees in Radiohead, honestly. I just cannot get into them. But I really enjoyed OK Computer, honestly. I tried to listen to Kid A. I tried to listen to the Bends. I like the Bends more than Kid A, but I still can't understand what people like so good about them. I mentioned this when I talked about Pink Floyd, but King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. This is really great. Made in 1969, way ahead of its time. Really awesome album. Love the shit out of this record. Might be a new classic rock standard, and will probably live on for a long time as a great indie record of the time. Really cool. Really glad I have that. Here's The Deer Hunter, Migrant. This is really good emotional rock music along with some piano in there. I listen to this thing from time to time and it just puts a smile on my face. It's really cool. I love my subscribers for turning me on to this band. He's just really good. Emancipator, From Dusk to Dawn. This is a really relaxing electronic album that just, whenever you're sitting up and late at night doing homework or some shit, this album would be perfect for that, because it's really good music without being too distracting. Really great. If you're a jazz fan, or if you really like a minimal electronic music, check this shit out. I think you'll find something to like about it, honestly. Lone's Galaxy Garden. This album is really cool electronic music, but it's a really different electronic type record. The sounds on it are really colorful and kind of tropical in a sense. It's hard to explain, but if you see the album cover, the album sounds like this. So if this appeals to you, check out the music on it. You'll love it. Galaxy Garden by Lone. One of my favorite electronic albums still to this day, ever since it came out in 2012. Another staple in like the hipster genre I notice on the internet, the Avalanches, Since I Left You. They said, this album came out in 2000. Okay, stay with me here. The band said that they were going to release a new album in February of 2014. It's like the tail fucking end of February 2014. No new news has been released about it. They've been teasing a new record ever since 2008, and it still hasn't happened. But this is the only album from the band, and this is an incredible electronic record. The entire album flows from one song to the other, so it sounds like an hour-long song. And it is so cool. It is just a sonic journey that you need to take. Listen to the Avalanches, Since I Left You, you're missing out. Listen to this album so you can get on the bandwagon and beg the band to finally release their second album, because I cannot wait to see what they do with that. That will be incredible. That will be an amazing album if they actually release it. Here's Smokey Bandit's debut. This is kind of like taking jazz music, but adding a little bit of more of a Western flair to it. Kind of like, there's a few Mexican horns in here, and really Western type songs. Really good horse riding music, I guess. Really, really epic. A few electronics are thrown in there as well. It's really, really cool. Really unique. I mean, you don't hear a whole lot of things that sound like this. Really, really awesome record. Love this shit. Well, I don't really listen to this band that much. I think they're overhyped as hell. Overrated. Blink-182, Neighborhoods. I listened to this a whole lot when it came out. Not so much nowadays. I also have a copy of Dude Ranch, but I think there are better punk albums out there, honestly. Billy Joe and Nora Jones, Foreverly. You know, love this album, really good. Like, they just covered the Everly Brothers country music and just made a really, really nice, relaxing fucking record. Really, really cool. Love this album. I love what they did with that. Lindsey Sterling, YouTube sensation, wonderful violinist who puts her music behind dubstep and influenced beats and other electronic music. Really, really cool. If you love violin music, you'll love the hell out of this, how the different directions she takes it in. It's really cool. Classical Thunder, just a collection of classical music, honestly, but it has more of like an exciting tone to it. It's like upbeat classical music. So like if you enjoyed anything like Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, freaking Stravinsky, that's what this is. Just classical music. Everybody should have a little bit of it. Have a little bit of culture, you know. Rusty Glass Swords. I don't really listen to this, but it was a good electronic album for the time when I first got into it. And I'm still glad to own it, honestly. Really cool. Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. One of the best jazz albums ever recorded. Really happy to have this along with my Quintet album from him. I need to get some John Coltrane, even though jazz isn't one of my favorite genres of music, but I'm really happy to have some of it because, you know, it's really relaxing and it's good to have stuff like that. Just for when the mood strikes, you know what I'm saying? Fleet Fox's debut album, loved this a hell of a lot more than Helplessness Blues. This album is just so much better than that, I think, honestly. The Killers, Direct Hits, just the greatest hits for the Killers, along with my favorite album from them, Day and Age. Unpopular opinion, I know, but I love Day and Age. And I also have Hot Fuss. Can't forget Hot Fuss. I actually don't own Sam's Town. Paul McCartney's new. Paul McCartney released a new album last year, and I think this sounds really, really good, honestly. I think Paul McCartney still has the magic touch. Just like he did back when he released this little fucking beauty. Band on the Run! A classic album staple, once again. Really, really amazing songs on this album, especially the songs Mrs. Vanderbilt and Picasso's Last Words. I really like that. That's a really unique song. But Band on the Run by Paul McCartney. Gotta get it. Gotta have that shit. It's really, really cool. Here's a few good Charlotte albums. This is one of the first bands I got into back in high school. This is actually the first album that I ever owned that wasn't a Weird Al Yankovic album back in the day. Young and the Hopeless. Classic album, personally, for me. I also have Chronicles of Life and Death and Good Morning Revival, which I'm really into this album, the happier melodies on it and stuff like that. Here's my Chemical Romance, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. The Black Parade, and Danger Days, which might be my favorite album against Three Cheers. I think The Black Parade just kind of wore its welcome out on me, honestly. And then I have my Blur is at the very bottom here. Here's Midlife, The Beginner's Guide to Blur. Some good songs, it's missing a few. And then I also have the entire discography here along with the Greatest Hits album. 13, I'm going backwards, but that's how it's stacked here. 13, self-titled, Great Escape, Park Life, Modern Life, and Leisure. Now that I have the Blur 21 box set, I really don't need these CDs here of the main albums. But I mean, I didn't know that I was going to have the 21 box set when I first collected all their albums. But let's see what else is down here. Yeah, we're not done yet, motherfuckers. Skrillex, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. I actually kind of like dubstep music, and I don't really get crazy into the genre, but I really like this EP. Probably my favorite from him. I didn't really enjoy Bangarang that much. I know, blasphemy. 80s Road Trip, just a good collection of 80s songs. I really enjoy 80s pop music, and this right here just has some good stuff on it. Not everything. Monkey Journey to the West soundtrack. Damon went and did an opera back in around like 2007 called Monkey Journey to the West, and this is the soundtrack for that opera. A whole lot of like Chinese instruments and Chinese vocals are used on this to create it, and I don't know, it's just really cool to have that, honestly. Everything else down here is stuff I don't really listen to. Styx Greatest Hits. Domo Arigato. Let's see here. Yeah, and the rest of the stuff down here is just Weird Al Yankovic, and oh yeah, oh shit, never mind. I am so sorry. My eyes deceive me. How could I not have had these closer? Ed Sheeran's Plus album, really good acoustic music. You know, he's a really good songwriter. Once again, an ex-friend gave this CD to me, which I kind of hate. Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses, a freaking classic rock staple once again, motherfucker. Gotta have freaking Appetite for Destruction. Really awesome. A Change of Pace. This is a random little kind of pop punk record, kind of like All Time Low, bands like that. Let's see here. Everything else is Weird Al, Weird Al, Weird Al. Sting. Some of his best solo stuff after he left the Police, which is really cool. Mamas and the Papas, Greatest Hits. Just because I'm a fan of 60s music, once again, kind of goes with my Turtles record and my King Crimson record and my Beatles records and all of my other 60s music. Let's see here. Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. I really got into this when it first came out, not so much nowadays though. Destroyer by Kiss. I wouldn't really call this a classic rock staple because I'm not a huge Kiss fan. I just got this out of the fact that I just thought that it looked cool, and I don't really have anything by Kiss. And still not a huge fan, honestly. I think I like their debut album and Rock and Roll Over. I think those are the two albums that I like best. Destroyer, I kind of hate that I got that one. I should have listened to their other albums first. Here's a copy of Nightwish's Dark Passion Play. This is kind of a badass little... It's not really... It's metal, but it's kind of like a dreamy type of metal, like the female vocals on it and the really hard guitars and stuff like that. It's really unique. It's really cool. The Poet and the Pendulum, definitely my favorite song from them off of that album. The Great Buddy Holly. Gotta have some of that 50s shit in here. Hell yeah. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Greatest Hits. Gotta have some Tom Petty. More classic rock going in there. Scissor Sisters, Magic Hour. Really get into a whole lot of the songs on this album. I don't get into the entire album, but the songs only the Horses and Baby Come Home. Absolutely play those two tracks like crazy. Glad to have this though. Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age actually produced it, and the lead singer of this band actually was one of the guest vocals on the first track of Like Clockwork. Even though I can't really hear him. I don't really understand how the mix is on that, but anyway, I think that is honestly about it. to go along with all of my Gorillaz up here. As you can tell, I have quite a shitload. I have quite a lot. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know this video is probably insanely long. I haven't even checked the time on it yet. But just wanted to share that with you guys because the next time you see me, it might possibly be at a new house. It just depends on how quickly I move out of here. I'll try to stay updated on Twitter. I don't tweet a ton. I've been noticing it's been really hard for me to it's like most people use Twitter to just say stupid shit, and that's really hard for me to just say I'm eating cereal and shit like that. So I'll try to tweet more. I'll try to stay updated with you guys. Some of you were asking for a Facebook fan page. I just do not have enough subscribers, enough people that are begging for me to do something like that. So if you don't have Twitter, I'm sorry. This is what I got. This is what people were mostly begging me for back in the day, and this is what I gave them, and I'm just sticking with that for now. If I get more subscribers, get more viewers, get more views, I will definitely create a Facebook page. But for right now, this Twitter is the best I have until I get some more followers, honestly. But it's a slow climb, but I feel like I'll eventually get there if I keep putting out videos when I can. So we'll just see. I hope you enjoyed this little collection video. I hope I turned you on to some things. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Mr. Money 1 2 3 5 out.